Welcome to my YouTube automotive channel. In today's video I have a 2012 Dodge Grand Caravan minivan, and I will show you how to remove and replace the clock spring, the airbag clock spring. This video will apply to Dodge Grand Caravans made from 2011 all the way up to 2020. Now, to remove the clock spring, first you will have to remove the steering wheel airbag. Then you will have to remove the steering wheel, and then you will get access to the clock spring. So I will start this video by removing the front airbag. Now, before you start removing and disconnecting the airbag, always make sure to disconnect the battery. Why? Because if you don't, you will most definitely trigger the airbag light on a dashboard, and you always risk this airbag being deployed. So always make sure to have the battery disconnected. When disconnecting the battery, you always first want to disconnect the negative battery pole, then the positive one, and when you are connecting the battery back again, always make sure first to connect the positive and then the negative. To disconnect the battery, you will need a 10mm socket. Now, once the battery is disconnected, now you can safely proceed to remove the front driver airbag. Okay, so this driver airbag is not actually too hard to remove on these Dodge minivans. It's held by only two 10mm screws. One will be just here on the left side behind this cover, and other one will be at the same spot on the other side, so just behind the cover right here. Now, before you start, I would advise you just to unlock the steering wheel and pull it all the way out towards yourself. That way you will give yourself more space to work in, and once you've done that, just lock it back in place. Now you'll have more space here on the side for your hands. Next thing to do is just pop these covers out. You'll have to find something like a small flat screwdriver just to remove this cover. And you can do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and by actually opening this cover, now you will gain access to that 10mm screw on each side, so you can use your ratchet and remove those two 10mm screws. Yeah, it's quite easy and straightforward actually to do it. Okay, so these are the screws, and now there is nothing else holding the airbag, and what you want to do, you want to gently pull it towards yourself, but don't pull it too hard because there are still two wires, connectors on the back side of this airbag. So actually on the back side you will have three connections. Two wires that go into the airbag itself, and one here that's still separately. Now, to remove this, all you have to do, pretty much you have to press onto these two clips at the same time. I'm trying to work with one hand here, so maybe the easiest way to do it is just gently grab it with pliers, you see, just like that, and pulling it out. And you will do the same thing on the other one as well. And this last black wire, it pretty much just pulls out, so there is no clips to push or anything. You just want to separate them pretty much. Yeah, I did that already, but yeah, like I said, there is nothing to push. You just want to pull it straight out. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so once the airbag is removed, now you have access to the bolt that's actually holding the steering wheel, and that is the 13mm bolt. So what you want to do, you want to get your ratchet and remove this screw. Okay, so this is the screw that's holding it, and now before you remove the steering wheel, you will want to unplug this white connector. Just on the bottom of it, you will see there is like a small white clip which you want to press, and then just disconnect this wiring. While removing the steering wheel, you want to be careful not to damage any of the wires, because they have to pass through this hole here, this opening. So you want to pull it straight towards yourself and not pull too hard. And also what might happen, even though you have removed this screw, you still might not be able to pull this steering wheel off. Then you just want to like hit it from each of the sides so it releases, and then you can just wiggle it off and pull it straight towards yourself. Also, one more thing which is important when replacing the clock spring. Do you see that small dot on the bottom there? You have to align that dot with the position of your steering wheel when you are installing the steering wheel back. Now that's really important. As you can see, I've made a small marking just here on the top which aligns with that dot. So when I will be installing this steering wheel back, so it's all nice, straight and aligned. If you don't do that, your steering wheel will not be straight. So that's something also to keep in mind. You can also use like a marker or whatever, but whatever is the easiest for you, just to mark it here. Okay, so like I said, just pull it straight towards yourself and be careful to pull these wires straight out. Okay, now finally, once the steering wheel is off the way, now you can remove these plastic pieces which are on top of the clock spring. So they will just pretty much separate, so you can use something like a flat screwdriver just to pop off this plastic. This is really easy and straightforward to remove. Next thing to do is to remove this bottom trim plastic. Now this is actually held by a couple of Torx T20 screws. That's the most common type of screws that Dodge and Jeep are actually using. Now I will try to show you exactly the location. Now you will have one screw inside this hole and one screw inside this hole right here. I'll try to record inside. I hope you can see it. So like I said, it's a Torx T20. Okay, now once you have removed these two screws, this bottom trim plastic piece will become loose. Now you still won't be able to quite remove it. It will still be attached to this leather cloth piece down here. So what you want to do, I'll try to record it here. You see these white pins right here. So you would just want to, I'll try to squeeze my phone, you just want to detach these pins from this plastic. You can do it like with a flat screwdriver, like I did on the one here on the top. You see it just pretty much slides in. I hope you can see it. So you just have to pull this plastic a bit up and detach it, and that way you'll be able to completely remove it, and then you'll be able to get access to all of the screws and the wires that are holding the clock spring. Okay, once this is detached, now unfortunately I just realized there is one more screw holding this bottom plastic piece. I'm sorry about that. I'm doing this for the first time as well. I will show you where is the screw. It's all the way back here. You see there is one more opening here. just here, and there will be that Torx T20 small screw in there. So what you want to do, you want to remove that screw as well. Okay, it's not too hard to access it. You just want to make sure that your steering wheel is pulled out all the way, and then you can squeeze in your screwdriver. Okay, so this is that last screw, and now you'll be able to just wiggle this bottom trim plastic off. So once again, you'll have 3 screws holding it here, here, and here, and then you will have that white plastic pins being attached to that trim. You just want to pop them out. Now finally we have access to a complete clock spring. So what you want to do, first you want to disconnect bunch of wires. So there will be one connector right here, so it's gonna have like a small black tab here on the top. You want to push it and pull the wire out, quite easy to remove. And you will have 2 more of the same kind just down here. I hope you can see them. Okay, we'll also have like a small tab just underneath. You want to press onto each and just disconnect the wires. Once all that is done, you will just have to remove a couple of Torx T20 screws which are still holding the clock spring in place. So you will have 1 screw right here at the front. You will have 1 here on the right side and 1 just behind here. I'll try to record it down here on this side. Okay, so these should be the last 3 screws. They are completely the same like the ones you removed previously, so you don't have to worry to mix them up. And now let me see, these should be all almost ready to be removed. Oh yeah, just 1 more connection here on the top. Again, you will have a small tab here on the top to push and just pull away. And now finally you can remove that clock spring, just pull it straight towards yourself. And this is how you can remove the clock spring from a 2012 Dodge Grand Caravan. Okay, now before you'll be able to install new airbag clock spring, you will want to remove this switch and actually install it onto your new clock spring. Now there is only 1 tab here which you want to press. I will try to do it with 1 hand, but most likely I will have to use both of my hands. So anyways, you just want to press this black tab inside here and then just remove this this switch. Like I said, I'll have to use both of my hands to do this because I have to pull the switch up while holding this to remove it. Okay, anyways, I was able to press this deep inside and now I can just remove the switch. And you just want to pop it into a new clock spring. Okay, now one more thing, if you're planning to reuse this clock spring, always make sure to tape it with something because this middle piece shouldn't really be turning anywhere. If you're buying a new one, you will see it's gonna come taped most likely, and if you're getting one from the used car salvage, make sure if you are removing it by yourself to tape it, or if the guys there are removing it, make sure to mention to them to put a tape on it, because if this starts turning, your clock spring will be no good anymore. That's just a quick tip. Okay, thank you for watching this short video. I hope it was helpful and educational. If it was, please like it and consider subscribing to my YouTube automotive channel. On my channel there is lots of how-to videos, do-it-yourself videos, car reviews, product reviews and other similar automotive topics.